All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Akar Kodash. Make so double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, who rule well, being a great example for us young brothers in His truth, and the sincere hearken throughout the four winds, pushing His word in all truth, righteousness, sincerity, faith, and diligence to you. I say shalom. We're going to get into a quick lesson out of one Ratazai, be edifying to the Lord's elect. I'm going into let me pull up the scripture. Basically, man, be careful not to entangle yourself with the affairs of this life, okay? Because things can happen. You have a child, you get a job, and things it'll try to snatch you away like a current, man. It's a lot of things going on at once, and it like I said, it'll try to snatch you away from your direction, like a current, and you'll be driven into the sea and drown, man. All right, you can drown with all these different things going on and situations you got just compiling your life. It can demand a lot of your attention, man. Okay, therefore, you must be careful and circumspect with that, because all around the board, our time is precious, and our time does belong to really Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. It does, because that's the only thing we can pay with. Is to pay attention and pay with our time for the things that the Lord has done for us, man. That's the least that we can do. Like the scripture says, make our bodies a living sacrifice, and that includes time, man. All right, because we are in these bodies still, right? And it's not just the physical, but the things that this body is subjected to, like time, man. Okay, you have to even put that on the line for to be sacrificed. All right, because it can get to a point where you're not producing, right? You're not producing, and it's drifting you away from your purpose, drifting you away from the Lord. All right, so let me grab this real quick. This Ecclesiasticus, aka Sirach, 2 and 7. It says, "Ye that fear the Lord, wait for His mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe in Him, and your reward shall not fail." All right, and fearing the Lord and waiting. It says, "And wait for His mercy." You go into word wait. It's another word for wait is patience. And we know patience goes into long suffering. All right, so you have to have patience. You have to suffer these things. Even if these things are repetitive. The repetition of I said the repetition, but the father of learning is repetition, man. Things get repetitive. It's just getting more and more instilled in you. It's like being in the gym. Things might get repetitive, but that's when you become more versatile. Okay, you become more versatile, and You know, instead of the barbell, you go pick up the dumbbells this time. You know, for an example, but still though, that's part of the fight, man. All right, having to suffer these things, um, and having to sacrifice and you know, pull out different tools out of the tool bag. You know, as it requires you, as it requires of you. You know, like I said in my last lesson, you know, the scripture said, like the scripture said, um, you know, though if need be, you are in diverse temptations, manifold temptations, you know. But like the scriptures say, man, hey, wait for his mercy and go not aside lest ye fall. And you don't want to fall, man. All right, you don't want to fall. You don't want to be removed from the body. You don't want to be um, cast it off, man. All right, removed from the book of life. Um, First and foremost, that's the place you don't want to be removed from. All right, and you don't want to fall off, man. Fall out. All right, because you already know what's on the other side. All right, let's just like it says, a dog returning to his own vomit. It ain't nothing but shit you done threw up, like all them bad um, worms and impurities you done threw up. You gonna go right back over there and eat it? That shit nasty, man. Okay, that's that soil pollution, man. That it warned us about in Micah 2:10. All right, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. And that's something that has to replay over and over and over on your mind, man. All right, Micah 2:10 being one of the milk scriptures, it still hits the hardest. One of the hardest hitting scriptures ever, because it's a daily thing. You know, it's something that's every day applied until we in the kingdom, because we're not in our rest, man. All right, so you have to have a laser focus to get through the mission, man. Okay, to stay away from the distractions and things that can fill you with false hopes, right? Because that's what this place is full of, man. Okay, as it speaks about it, Thessalonians, you know, even him who's working, who's coming is after the workings of Satan with all deceivableness, right? So this world is fashioned by the workings of Satan, man, or the energy of Satan. So you have to be wary of the different distractions and the different things that can pull you away from this truth, man, which is a straight and narrow path, man. Okay, it's not the path of far and broad, but the straight and skinny, man, the straight and narrow, right? With fire on one side and water on the other, man. All right, you lean to the one side too much, you get burnt. Lean to the other one, you drown, man. Okay, you have to find a balance, a perfect balance, so that you can walk worthy of the vocation, man. Okay, and get ultimately make it to the that goal, and that's salvation, man. All right, that's the kingdom and immortality, man. All right, being with the Lord, obtaining Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, because he's the key to all of this. You know, he's worthy. He said he's the one that's worthy to loose the seals thereof. You know, but now we have the truth through his spirit, man, through the comforter, man. We have the truth, all right, because of that sacrifice the Lord made, man. All right? It all comes together. It says, verse 9, ye that fear the Lord hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear? That's the point. You have to abide, and just get the definition of that word abide, because that's an ongoing thing. It says, see, as a verb, it says, accept or act in accordance with rule, decision, or recommendation, to be able to tolerate something or someone. All right, toleration. Some more on that. Hold on. It says to tolerate, continue, remain. It says survive, last, persist, stay, hold on, live on. You know. So you have to comply with this, man. You have to every day. It says, did any abide, continue in his fear, and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? All right, so the point is, let's just look at the generations of old, man. This was already laid out before you, man. Okay, it was laid out for you, and the Lord also has the examples, man. Okay, the generations of old, man, how our people got through it, because as you see now, you know where we come from. Our descendants from basically servants, man, slaves, man. Okay. Um, exiles and what do you call those peoples? Um, refugees and shit, man. This is what we descend from, man. All right, and the Lord got our ancestors through that, got our forefathers through that. Rather, He can get us through this as well. Which it's gonna be a time like never before, man. Let's see. Let me get one real quick, because I had this. This is 2 Timothy 2:4. It says, no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. And that no man that warreth, man, entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. All right, and what is that? The affairs of this life, man. All right, the jobs, the 401ks, the family, the paying the bills, the American dream, anything to do with this life that can pull you and draw you away from Yahweh Shem Shai, man. All right. No man that war is going to entangle himself with that, man. All right. And we know that brothers do have families, and brothers got jobs, But the point is, that's not what comes first in their lives. Okay, the work of the Lord has become the center point of their life. It's just the Lord, period. Let me rephrase that. It's the center part of their life. Okay, Lord willing, I'm part of that number as well, man. These are this is the faith and the patience of the saints. Let me see. And you go into the patience, it's the sufferings. All right, faith, this is a cleaving unto the Lord, man. as it says in Ecclesiastes 25:12. But this is no man that war. I'm telling you that he may please him that have chosen to be a soldier. So that's another one I was looking for. But man, I guess I'll read this one again. It says, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. All right, listen, we soldiers of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, man, hey, we have to please him. All right, and they was talking about the faith and the patience. Hebrews 11:6. What it says is, without faith, it's impossible to please him. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. All right, so, this work pleases the Lord, man. Okay, because it's what the scriptures say. What Yahweh Shai told Peter, man, feed my sheep. You know, feed my sheep. Said it 3 times, and you have to understand, man, that pleases the Lord, man. That pleases the Lord. And I don't know how else to say it. You have to understand it, okay? And Lord willing, you understand it, because who wants to go without food? All right, and your spirit can go dry. All right, you're not feeding your spirit. You're not watering your spirit, man. You're not giving it the nutrients, man. It can go dry, man. All right, you don't want to be destitute of the oil, man. All right, so just abiding in the fear and abiding and cleaving, holding on to this truth, man. Holding fast to it, man. Let me get back to this. Back in Ecclesiastes 2 and verse 11, it says, "For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in the time of affliction. Woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth 2 ways." You know, you double-minded, you people that look back, the faint hands, the ones that didn't want to do the work. And you fearful hearts, you cowards, man. The ones that was afraid that knew what it came with. No, I can't get involved in that, man. Come on, man. You're being a coward, man. All right, it says, "Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not." You weak-minded, right? It says, "Therefore shall he not be defended." And that applies to all those people, man, that it was describing, man. Okay? And trust me and believe you're going to want some defense in the time that is coming. Because this goddamn devil is already taking away your rights. So you're going to need a defense attorney. You're going to need a defense. Brothers was discussing. You want that bank account to be fat and oh man, your credit good. Your your bank account good. You got the funds. You come right on in, sir. All right, when the Lord start checking them bank accounts, and you start, you got plenty of treasure stored up in heaven, and you can get some mercy. You can afford some mercy, so to speak. All right, because you was sighing and crying and doing that which pleased the Lord, man. Okay, when you woke up to the truth. All right, and you was afraid of not being defended. All right, you was afraid of not having a way out. Okay, you was afraid of being destroyed. Okay, by your enemies with no type of hope at all. But the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is giving you hope and uh, the what does it say, salvation, but you know that he's gonna save, man. Okay, but the Lord is giving you hope and everlasting joy and mercy, because you know that the word of the Lord is true, because it is prophecy, man. Prophecy, hey, man, prophecy is undefeated, man. Okay. All right, and you go into prophecy, it means to say it beforehand, to tell before. Okay, so the Lord is showing you through prophecy that this word is true. All right, it's faithful and it's true. All right, and even the things that, even the history of the scripture checks out, man. Okay, the things that happened in the old generations, man. The old records. Okay, that's been recorded and stood the test of time to be faithful and true. All right, so we know that the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's hand is not short that it can't save. Is basically what I'm saying. Okay, we know that that the Lord can do it all, man. But who's gonna be worthy? Who's worthy of it, right? Because everybody's not worthy. There's a destruction rather coming for a reason. Okay, and the Lord has revealed these things unto you, and you have to continue in that which you was taught, man. You have to continue and suffer and with patience and joy, with patience and faith, rather, with patience and faith. You have to continue in this, but I don't want to, just keep yapping at the mouth. Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm closing out, giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Hakwadash. Next up, double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well, being a great example for His young brothers in His truth, and a sincere Hakim throughout the four winds, pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, sincerity, faith, and diligence to you. I say shalom, above, quam to the elect, Yahshua, shalom.